Hey, it's Matt from WithinOneMoment Photography here. Today on this video we're going to just run through a bit of the gear that I have and what's in my camera bag. Let's check out what's in my camera bag. It's the gear that I use mostly. I've got lots of different things. Some of it's not so conventional. I do a lot of unconventional things when it comes to photography methods. So I'll just kind of run through it really quickly, and maybe I'll make some other videos to break down each item individually. Okay, so we'll start with the camera, I guess. My current camera is a Canon 7D. I did switch up from a Canon 1D Mark IIN, and I also had a Canon 600D. The Canon 600D broke, so that was the end of that. And the 1D was an amazing camera. As you know, it's Canon's flagship model. It's quite an epic camera, but it's just too big to carry around all the time, everywhere. I do lots of different types of photography, which did include sport, fashion, family, just walking around through the bush and whatnot. But it's too big to carry everywhere. So I got the Canon 7D as a nice sort of middle ground camera body. I'm sure you're all familiar with it. At the moment I've got this Canon ST-E2 transmitter on here for the speed light for a shoot I was doing yesterday, plus the Canon 70-200 f2.8 lens. Amazing piece of glass. It is quite big and heavy, but the results that this thing gives are quite pleasing. And I've just got a little UV filter attached to the front of that, just to keep the glass protected. Lens hood, of course. Okay, so that's sort of the main camera. Okay. This video is being filmed on another camera I own. It's a Nikon P7000. It's a tiny little camera. Maybe I'll put a picture of it up or something. It's a wicked little camera. Very, very cool. Full manual use, but in a compact body. 14 megapixels. It's great for carrying around. It has a hot shoe. It has a microphone input, which I'm using with my Rode VideoMic Pro for this video. So it's got all of the options you could ever need in a DSLR, but squished down into a tiny little point and shoot type thing. You can adapt lenses to the front of it. You can't take the lens off, but you can adapt lenses onto it. So I have this adapter ring here, and then you can just attach, screw in lens attachments to that. For example, this wide angle, super wide angle lens attachment here gives a bit of a bizarre effect. It's unique, I guess would be the word. So you can sort of get that thing happening there. That's great. I've got another lens here which I use for bizarre things. It's an old Canon EF lens from the early 90s. It's a 38-76mm lens. It's designed for a film camera, but I've adapted a super wide fisheye lens to the front of it. It's very, very it's a very wide angle, and in fact it leaves black rings around the edge of each picture you take, but it's a very unique perspective. You can get very unique and artistic shots from this. They are not clear, or they're clear. They're not sharp by any means, but they give off a great artistic effect. So that's a 38-76. I guess it's kind of like a kit lens. I don't use it that often, but I have it. Okay, here we have Lens Baby Spark. I'm sure you've heard of these before. It's for a Canon mount. everything I have is Canon mount, by the way. It's designed for, again, an artistic effect. You can see that it bends from side to side, and you can push it in and out for focus. It's based off a 50mm lens length. As I said, it's based off a 50mm lens. You basically fit it to your camera and you hold this little ring at the front, and as you are shooting or before you shoot, you compose your shot by sort of moving it around or pulling it in and out for focus. Clever little system. This is the basic model. There are ones that are higher up than this, which you can really have some fun with. I don't use it a lot, but there it is. Okay, so flash. I only have the one external speed light. It's got this gel on it at the moment for a shoot. I did. It's a Canon 600EX RT. It's the latest one from Canon. Very, very cool flash. Very, very powerful. Very flexible. It's weather sealed. It's quite heavy, actually, and of course it's got all the normal standard functions which you would expect a flash to have, along with built-in radio triggering. This I had attached to the front here it's just a gel, orange gel there, so that was for a shoot, so we won't really talk about that now. But that's the flash. It's great. It's very bright. It's very easy to control. Very flexible. Canon 600EX RT. I've got here my recent purchase. It's a black rapid camera strap. Amazing. It's just one strap. It can go left or right on your body, and basically you attach your camera with the little get it off there. The little screw at the bottom. Just got a ring on it. Very solid single piece of metal. And you basically just let your camera hang by your side, so it's never dangling in front of you. I do a lot of walking for hours and hours on end with my camera, with the Canon, which is quite heavy after a while, but it's not nice to have it hanging right in front of you all the time when you're trying to walk. It's nicer to have it on the side. You just grab and you slide it back and forth. Really simple, clever, very cool design. So that's sort of my latest purchase. I did a bit of research. There are a lot of different camera strap options out there. There was the sport version of this strap, which sounds great, but I tried them both on in the store, and the sport one basically has an extra harness from here to here, which straps around your side. So you can jog with the camera, you can sort of be on the run and it won't come unattached from your body. But it's left or right orientated, you can't switch it around. This one I like because you can wear it on your right or your left side. I did that wrong way around, but anyway, black rapid photo strap. Pretty cool thing. Okay, it's to the actual camera bag. This is a Low Pro AW400 flip side. You can fit a fair bit in. It's not super big, but it's good for what it is. It's got like a weather pouch that comes over if it rains, which I've definitely used a lot of times to keep my stuff dry. So what have we got here? USB cable, which I use for tethering shoots. The card reader, which I also use with the USB cable there. Okay, this is the amazing little windsock from Rode to suit the microphone that we're using at the moment for when I'm outside. This is an adapter cable, also for the Rode microphone, which allows me to plug it into my iPhone or iPad for recording video and audio onto that. Very handy little cable. It's from Rode as well. Okay, what do I keep in here? Let's keep a few spare clips for things, some zip ties, battery charger for the inner loop batteries, which I use for the flash. Great batteries, totally recommend them. What else have we got here? This ring is an adapter, a lens adapter ring, so I can adapt Nikon lenses to my Canon camera. It's handy. I used to shoot Nikon DSLR. I had a few lenses kicking around, but I keep this hanging around just in case I'm ever somewhere or an opportunity arises to use a Nikon lens while I've got my Canon camera, so we can adapt those up. What else have we got here? The white balance cards, always handy to have, set there. That's it for the front. Now, the back. All the other gear. So this is the cases for the flash, the STE2. You can kind of see what's going on in there. Another lens. This lens, also a semi-recent purchase. It's the, I'm sure you've all heard of it by now, it's the Sigma Art Series 18 to 35 f1.8 wide angle lens. Very, very cool, clever, well-built lens for the price bracket that it's in. It is quite heavy for what it is. It's quite a big, heavy lens. It comes with the lens hood there. I might talk more about this later. There's stacks of videos already on YouTube about this particular lens. But I'll totally vouch for it. It's an amazing lens. I compared it directly with the Canon 16 to 35 L series lens, and I did side-by-side comparison shots. I brought it all home, I checked it out myself, and this lens totally checks out. It totally checks out for less than half the price of the L series. It has an equal, gives an equal result, and in some cases even better, in my opinion. So very cool lens, Sigma 18 to 35 f1.8, under $1,000. Very cool. Okay. This is pretty much my favorite lens. Let's attach that there. It's a Voigtlander 40mm f2. Now, I don't know if any of you have heard of Voigtlander before, but it's made in the Corsina factory, which is where they make the Zeiss lenses, which I'm sure you've heard of. This lens is seriously amazing. It looks very small. It is nice and small, luckily. It's usually the lens that I attach to my camera while I'm walking for hours and hours on end. On the crop sensor, the 1.6 crop of the 7D, this equals like a 60 or 70mm lens, so it's definitely not wide, and it's definitely not too telephoto. It's an f2, it's manual focus only, it's a fully manualized lens. It's buttery smooth. Amazing optics in this thing. I'm very happy with this lens. Quite an expensive lens though. In fact, I think it's about the same price as this, but I've had it for a while now. I also regularly attach another one of my little contraptions here. I attach this super fisheye wide angle optic to the front of it, and it gives this it's really unique what it gives. It's not designed for this lens at all. I just happen to adapt some of the threads here and make it fit. it gives a really cool warped effect. It's very similar to the Lens Baby Spark, except it's because of the quality of the glass in here, it's much superior. So very, very cool. This is a 12.5 macro fisheye lens. It's got a 12.5 macro lens in the back, which I've screwed in, and the front is a 0.25 times fisheye. So it's quite wide. Anyway, so I had a lot of fun with this lens and with this attachment on it as well. Little bag that I keep things in there. What else do we have? Of course, the old faithful Nifty 50 1.8. I pretty much never, ever use this, but I have it just in case for anything. 50mm 1.8. Corded shutter release. It's a very basic generic one. It's the old one from my 1D actually. Pretty straightforward. And down the bottom I have just a lens cleaning pen and brush, kind of handy. This is the macro lens to suit the Voigtlander, which comes with the lens. Another high quality piece of glass that just screws onto the front, giving you macro capabilities for the Voigtlander. Very handy to have that. Okay, this is filters. I've got different filters to suit different sizes here. I do have a lot of adapter rings, so some lenses don't fit certain things, so I just adapt them in or out to suit different application. It's very hard. This is a 58mm. Very hard to undo. Oh, there's actually two in here, that's why. Okay. So here I have... Oh no, there's just the one. This is a what is this? It's a variable ND filter. So if you wind it one way, it sort of gets lighter. If you wind it the other way, it gets darker. So it's a circular filter. That's the word I was trying to look for there. So that's that. I haven't really used it that much. So anyway, I keep it there. I got it really cheap secondhand, so I think I just took the opportunity to get it. They're just adapter rings. There's about 6 different adapter rings in there for different things, up and down. Okay, what do we got here? This is a ND4 filter. It's a 77mm, so it's to suit my 2.8 7200, but I've got an adapter ring on it here, which I can also use to fit it to the Sigma lens, which is a 72mm. So it's good for the Sigma, where I can do some nice medium sort of length exposures during the daytime here, and it's only an ND4, so it's not that dark. You don't lose that many stops with that one there. This is just a little wallet that comes with the 600EX, which has got a few different gels in it. And more adapter rings. Oh, no, it's a ND8 filter. So, which you can see there. That, I think, is it, apart from the empty cases there. Oh, I've got a few spare memory cards up the top, but it's pretty straightforward. That's all my digital camera gear. So, I also have a couple of film cameras up the top here. Just put these away quickly. Okay. So, first up we have my Polaroid Supercolor 1000 land camera. It's a very basic Polaroid. This is loaded to go at the moment. It does have a cartridge in it with film in it. It's pretty basic, doesn't work too great indoors. It's pretty much outdoors only, but it's very cool. It's in very good condition. I still have the original case for it, and I got it really cheap. It was like $15. The catch, of course, is the film, which I got from Impossible Project for 8 film cards. It's like $30 or $40. So there's no economy in shooting Polaroids, not the old ones anyway. So anyway, there it is. This camera here I got given. It's a fully automatic 35mm sort of point and shoot type thing. It's got a roll of colour film in it at the moment. I haven't actually developed any film from this yet, although you can pop the flash up there. The unique thing about this camera, it came with different lenses that you can attach to the front of it, which I have several of. The built-in lens is a 35mm 2.8. You clip these on the front, which has the actual viewfinder attached to it, so with your different lenses it changes the point of view for you. This is a telephoto lens that I've got attached to the front of it at the moment. Very cool little idea. It's got autofocus built in, which I think is clever for an old camera. But still got film in this, still going. I'll have to report back on the results from that. This little camera here, my Trip 35 Olympus, very, very popular camera. I've developed black and white from this a few times. It's a cool little camera. It's the picture quality isn't that great. It gives a very grainy sort of, it's not so clear and sharp picture. It's okay, it's fun, it's artistic, it's very modern. Obviously it depends on what type of film you use with it, but it's a great little camera. Looks surprisingly a lot like the new Fuji digital point and shoots. You change the aperture on the side here. It's very cool, and you just wind it up and use it. It's a great little camera. Then I have this SLR here. I've also developed several rolls from this. I've used different lenses with it. Very heavy camera, quite unique. Takes a nice photo. It's not super great. I've got a, what is it, a 55mm f2 lens on it at the moment here. Again, it's all manually controlled there with aperture on the side. It's a Minolta SR1. Not the kind of thing I would carry around. It's not very friendly in my hands either. But it's good if you've got something set up to shoot. Also on the top there's a little hot shoe attachment, which I've got a Kodalux light meter on as well. Very handy actually. It's a very tiny little unsuspecting thing, but it works perfectly, this light meter. So that's all the film cameras there. Of course I'm surrounded by a couple of soft boxes, lights, this terrible 80s background, cameras on a tripod and whatnot. So I've got a lot of different bits and pieces. I've got more than enough gear to go pretty much photographing any scenario that I feel like. I think I'm going to try to break down some of the gear individually into individual videos and maybe explain things a bit more. Review, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll just talk about what I have. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, stay tuned with the blog on the website. I write about my shoots and experiences on there. Also, there's a Flickr page which doesn't have sort of my folio on it, but it's more just a spot where I put all my daily kind of photos on there. Things that I do when I go for a walk with the camera, for example, they've all been recorded on there. So yeah, there's a Flickr page, there's the actual .com page. I do have a Facebook page, but I have not used it in over 6 months. I'm not sure exactly what the fate is for me continuing to use that Facebook page or not. But yeah, the website and the Flickr page are really where I sort of, and the YouTube channel here, of course, would really be where I'd like to keep the traffic concentrated. So stay tuned, send me a message, read the blog, check out what I do. It can be disorganized at times and not up to date, but hey, we've all got lots of things to do, so check back every now and then, and hope you like the video. Thanks.